Dr. Victor Humbridge arrived at a struggling village to provide medical care to the folk less fortunate. However, he did not want to be away from his wife for so long, therefore he brought her with. It seemed like a good trip, but Victor did not realize that by the end, he would not be human anymore. Victor did not want to burden the villagers with accommodation, so he offered to camp in the forest. This was perfect, since his first patient, Mrs. Egret, an elderly woman who lived not too far away from the spot that was chosen. However, an uneasy feeling traveled to Victor's chest. The forest was creepy. He thought he heard a voice, a strange voice that was uttering something in a different language. Not only that, but he heard multiple growls in the distance. It made his skin crawl. His wife held on to his arm and gave him a kiss on the cheek. "My hero," she said, "don't look so worried." He gave a small smile and set up the tent. While his wife slept, Victor made his way to the elderly woman's house. He walked through the forest hearing faint, blood-curdling screams and the sound of rope tightening. He thought he was going crazy because he couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. At times he even wiped his shoulder because he thought he felt blood dripping from the trees. As night came, he arrived at Mrs. Egret's house, walked up the stairs and knocked on the door, but with the gentle pressure of his knuckles, the door opened itself. "Good day, madam," he called out. "I am Dr. Humbridge. The village probably told you I'm here to provide medical care." "Mrs. Egret?" Victor then saw a trail of blood, as if a body was dragged. He followed the trail while calling out to the elderly woman, and then he saw a silhouette of a man behind the house. What appeared to be a huntsman had a noose wrapped around the old woman's neck. His appearance slowly changed into an old, unnatural being. The man then vanished into a wisp of smoke. Victor realized that he wasn't going crazy. The sound of tightening ropes was accurate, and he saw why. The veil of the forest was removed only for a few seconds, and he saw human corpses hanging from the ropes tied to the tree branches, dripping with blood. And then the scream was from Victor's wife. The creepy man was next to her with his long nails held at her throat. She cried and called out to her husband to save her. Victor was terrified as he pleaded, "Please, I don't know who you are, but we will leave. I won't say anything to anyone. Just please let my wife go. I beg of you. I swear I won't." But the creepy huntsman showed no remorse and slit her throat. Victor ran and grabbed his wife as she fell, bleeding out. With the state he was in, he tried his best to stop the bleeding, but it didn't help. The shapeshifter huntsman gave his name and occupation. Archive, a demon from the very depths of hell that was banished and now had a task to collect souls in order to return. Arkane looked at the full moon and carried forth an incantation, one that made Victor's bones break. Victor screamed in pain as long fur grew over his skin. His teeth and jaw altered its shape as he was losing his human body. The bones from his shoulders stuck out and he felt his ribcage expanding. The demon smiled as it watched the torturous transformation. Arkane then clamped his hands twice, and a pack of werewolves arrived. Massive, vicious, and extremely powerful werewolves that the demon had cursed to carry out his dirty work. Arkane ordered the werewolves to recruit Victor while he took care of other business and then vanished. But the demon should have waited because the curse did not work as intended. Victor did not lose his mind like the other werewolves who were puppets. He could think like a human and an animal, and unlike the rest, he could still talk. Only the evil and weak lost their mind when cursed by the demon, and Victor's immense power was now going to be on display. He did not wait for the werewolves to close in. He sprinted towards the circle, slicing, ripping, biting and killing, each one in a flash of lightning. they had no chance of survival, for the demon had made a grave mistake by creating a beast with a pure heart. Victor spat the remaining flesh out from his mouth as the heavy rains washed the blood off his hands. He then glanced at his wife's body on the ground. He picked her up in his arms and cried, and his howl echoed throughout the forest. Lastly, after composing himself, he let out a roar that shook the entire forest, a vicious roar that would even make a 1,000-year-old demon tremble